What up? All right, we're gonna get started back up on the 57 Chevy Nomad. No, it's been a minute since the last time I went live, maybe a week ago or so. But we're back. I mean, we've been recording videos, working behind the scenes, getting caught up, trying to finish this one up. And the polishing stage. This is where we're at now. And I've been I was gonna do it earlier and record clips, but then I'm like, you know what? I got to get on it, and that's going to take some time. So let's just do it. Let's go live with it and we'll start putting it together real quick. So let's go ahead and jump right into it right here. Boom. Let's get rid of the mouse. All right. Let's see. What do we need? We got the dish right here that I'm going to be using in a bit. The body right here. We're going to start off with the body. Later, I'll bust out the hood. And then we're going to be busting out with the 10,000 and 8,000 of the God Hand sanding pads in two different widths. We have the 10 millimeter width that is the foam. And then we also have a 2 millimeter width that is this foam right here. You tell the difference right there. Or maybe I think this is a 3 actually. Could be wrong because I know the other one I use, it feels thinner. Oh man, got like a little fly or something flying around right here. Here, let me make sure of that. Let's clear it up. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah. It is a 3. This is the 2. Man, it's a lot smaller. Big difference. All right, cool. So we're gonna be rocking with those right there. We also have the Dawn dish soap, removes grease. We're going to be busting this out. We only need a couple drops. Last time I did the same thing. I pulled out the whole thing right from the kitchen, and then we also have some distilled water that I put in this bottle right here. So we're going to be using this. And I also have, blue shop towel as well. So busting this out too, just to kind of dry up the model, clean it up a little bit. And let's see, from the last time when I was live, I switched some things up here in studio. I constantly keep switching stuff up just because I want to get better lighting, make the experience for you guys, but also for myself better. I also replaced the cutting mat. This is the one on this side that was all damaged, stuff spilled on it. I still have the other one. I'm just using it in a different area now. But I just went ahead and I swapped it. So we got that sorted out now. And then now I'm able to look at the screen now. So there's a lot of little different things changes I made behind the scenes here that is just going to help me a lot better as I'm, working on these builds and stuff and able to record and everything. So, all right. So when it comes down to polishing this, I just, it wasn't so long ago that we clear coated this model, and I waited, I would say it's probably been 3 days now, maybe 4. It's been a while. And if it does feel smooth in areas, it feels glossy, but then there are areas, little pockets where it's a little rough. And also, as I look at it in the light like this, you start to see somewhat of this orange peel, and I really don't like that. I don't like the way that looks. The only way you're going to see that is like when the model is laying down, like right here, and you have, let's say, a light right here set up and the light's beaming on it. You're going to be able to see that. You're taking photographs from the bottom with flash. You're going to be able to see that as well. And from up here, if someone's taking photographs from up here, you're going to see the glossiness here and all this, but then it's like, oh, what happened here, So that's what we're going to take care of right now. And also, if we feel any little rough spots, little bumps, we got to eliminate those. We got to level those out. I sprayed enough clear to try to get those out in case if I would need to spray more clear, we can do it. But I think the objective is not to, just so we don't cake on too much on there. So we're going to start with the sides. Right here, we're going to start on this side, and then we're going to do the other side, these top fenders, a little bit of the back. I mean, the back looks pretty minimal, and then the roof. is going to be the next one. So let's do this. Let me go ahead and get a little water out. And let me pour it in here. And then we're going to put some drops of dish soap. The reason why I'm pouring the water in here is because that's where the sanding pads are going to end up at. And, you know, towards the sessions, there's going to be a moment where I'll also spray the model like this. Like I'll spray it. That way, whatever particles too will fall down and, you know, be out there. All right. And then let's see. So let's throw these in there. Let them get wet right there. I also made sure to rinse the bowl as well, just because sometimes, you know, you have these things laying around and you're going to get debris. All right, that's enough. I don't need too much right there. It does not need to be too bubbly. So here, let me set this over here so I don't forget it. And then tomorrow when we're washing dishes, we're like, hey, we're having a little soap. All right, so right now, let's go ahead and do this. Let me start with the highest number, the 10,000. I'm just gonna rub it on a little area, and we're gonna see what happens. You know, like how it starts to smooth this out. And if it feels like, you know what, we can go a little bit lower, then I feel like the 8,000 is gonna be my threshold. I'm gonna go no lower than this, you know. Because, I don't know, just from looking at it, I feel like it doesn't. So right now, we're going to go in this motion, like a sideways back-to-back motion. And let's see. Like right now, right here, I feel like a little resistance, a little bump right here. So that's something that we're going to be paying close attention to as we go back and forth right here. And basically what's going to end up happening is as we're hitting this with these polishing pads, the gloss or the clear starts to dull out, you know? And later, after the wet sanding, you know, on another session, we'll do the polishing. That's where we're going to bring all that back to life right there. So even with these, when you feel the grit, it's not so rough. It feels nice. So don't be scared that, oh man, I'm going to lay some deep scratches on the Klear. You're really not, you know. And especially using this urethane Klear from House of Color, you know, it covers pretty good depending, you know, obviously on the coats, but I feel like it does a good job right here. So let me see if I still feel that little bump. Nope, I don't feel it. We're just gonna keep going side to side. Now I'm gonna back it up and try to isolate this little area right here. So the cool thing now is as I'm doing this, I look up and I could see the what I'm doing. But here, you know what? That reminds me. I haven't even enabled the chat. I can't even see the chat. Let me turn it up on the screen so I can see it pull up. Hopefully. All right, let me resize it. Oh, dang, what happened? Where'd it go? I got to resize the chat. All right, here we go. Let me see. So I have it too big. What's going on? There we go. Sorry, guys. And I'll do some shout outs in a little bit right now. Let me all right, I think I resized this thing. Derp. Oh, what up, Kevin's Models? What's up, man? What up, brother? Yeah, no, I'm not done yet. Oh wait, Dan, let me back up. We got Dan, we got Paint Maverick, Mike's Mods. What's up, guys? Let's see. Yeah, and also Kevin's Models. Dang. All right, guys, dude, I didn't even turn on the chat until like right now. So let's see. Let's get into it. Yeah, no, it's not done. You know, while I've been recording the videos on this one, I knew that I needed to do this next step. And during that downtime of waiting for this car to cure for the Klear, I was like, I better get a jump on the next one, you know? So I started working on the other model, prepping it and everything. Even right now, before I even went live, before I decided to go live, I was working on the Pi Wagon. I was basically just scribing the doors, around the doors, just making those a lot more deeper in there because I ended up gluing the bottom and the top shell together. So now it's all molded. It looks like it's all one piece. And basically I ended up having to scribe in those doors because you know, as you're sanding and molding certain areas, it starts to kind of erase a little. So you have to go back in there and scrap that in. So I had to do that right there. All right. So now we're working our way back towards the rear fender, and we're gonna do a test. So like right now, I'm gonna do this whole section sideways, and then I'm gonna go up and down. Then we're gonna spray it. Then I'm gonna dry it, and I really want to see how it looks. If it still looks kind of orange peelish, kind of weird, that I don't like, I'm gonna end up going back down to the 8,000. But for now, we're just doing this. I mean, I was gonna do this like off camera, and then do an update like, oh, we just finished the thing. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this anyway. So it's Friday. We're chilling with the family. We had to go to it was like back to school night for my daughter. She's 5 years old. She's like in TK, so we had to go do the whole family thing, which was cool. It was nice, man. It's really nice to see these little ones, man, just putting in the work and just getting to see all the projects and stuff. And back at home, and I was like, man, I don't even feel tired. I got my coffee right here next to me, that instant coffee. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It's not like there's any espresso shots in there, but it's just like it's a more of a mental thing, knowing like, oh, I'm drinking coffee. All right, so cool. All right, so now I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna start to go in this direction now. So we were going like sideways, and like we're gonna be going like up and down, but I'm gonna rotate it, right? So it's like we're boxing it in right there. That way we cover all little areas. And just take your time whenever you're doing this. Like, take your time. Like, don't trip. Um, like if this is all you're gonna do, then that's all you gotta do. Once you're done, that's it. Put it away and work on it the next day. And do something else. Continue on. If you just want to dedicate your side to just doing one side, then that's it. I was telling my homie Paint Maverick the other day that when I had clear coated this car, then I think it was like, yeah, later that day. I mean, this stuff was drying, but later that day, I just had this hunch of like, oh, I want to paint another car, a 132 scale, and I want to like clear it, and I want to experiment with some Rocket Clear, like Clear that dries in hours, and I've never used Rocket Clear. And shout outs to him because he hooked me up with the quart of that stuff, and I started using it on it, and I was telling him, dude, at the very end when it was all said and done, I felt so exhausted and so tired. I was like, dude, like I can't be doing that. Like I gotta just stick to the one project and that's it, because man, it's like when you try to do too much, you burn yourself out, and then it's just like like it kind of loses its meaning in a way. Let's see here. All right, cool. All right, so let me go ahead and spray it, and then I'm gonna wipe it on that bottom side. I want to see how it looks. If it looks kind of weird, like still orange peelish, then we're gonna go down to the 8,000. But we're gonna find out now, instead of going through the whole car and then realizing, oh man, I should have gone lower grit, and it's like we just wasted all that time right there. Or did we? Let's see. Let me wipe it right here. We just wipe it down real quick. I'll find out right now. All right, let's see. All right. Well, I know we got rid of that little bunk, but yeah, I could still see it. Yeah, we're gonna go down to 8,000. I don't like that look. That looks all weird. Looks crazy. I don't like it. So let's go down to 8,000. All right. So we're gonna go in this motion right here. There we go. And I just gotta hold the model in, like in a secure position right up here. It's more solid on the roof. And then I gotta be careful when I start reaching the edges right here. So right now, let's just do this door. Let's go back and forth, and then we're gonna peep the door. We're gonna do the same test. And if it still don't look good, oh man, I hate to say it, but we might have to jump down more lower. But I really don't want to. But we'll see. You know, back then when I used to clear cars, I would put enough clear, then do this whole cut and buff, and I would still be like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and sand it, clean it, and I'm gonna re-clear it one last time, and I'll add like a final clear coat, and that was cool. But then I don't know, after a while, it just felt like a lot of work. You know, I was like, damn, I have to clear it again, and clearing just started to feel like a hassle, and it started to feel like that because I didn't have the proper space to do it. You know, every time I was gonna do something, I had to set up, had to tear down, set up, tear down, mix here, mix there. It was just too much, you know. And then time passed. You know, we're here now, and now we could, man. If if I could have like the door open, I'd be clearing right now, you know, or whatever. I'd be painting right now. But I don't, because I don't want to have my door open. Because then the light's going to get out, and I don't want looky-loos, you know what I mean? Like, catch any kind of attention my way over here. Oh, here we go. We're going somewhere now. All right, check it out. So this is what we're trying to achieve right now. You see how I got all, like, dull? Here, let me zoom in. I keep pulling in. There we go. Let's see. Watch. I'm going to tilt it. So right here, it's all glossy, and then as we tilt it, you start to see now the door. It's like a square. It's like dull now right here. That's what we want. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go lower to reach. It's getting there. All right. So let's bust out. So this is 8,000. Let's jump down to the 6,000. Let's get the this thing out. All right. So little case right here. Where's the 6? I think it's this one. Hold on. I'm trying to get this bigger block. Yep, that's the one right there. Oop, wrong way. All right, then I need here. I'll take this one. Another 6,000. Cool. So now let's close this up. All right, let's put this away. Oh yeah, the other day, somebody emailed me wanting to know about these compartments, what I use right here in front of me. They were like, "Hey, do you know where I can get them?" Or, you know, and there was a point where I was selling these back then. Like when I started the online store, this was one of the first like products I started selling there for the desk, for the bench. And dude, it's crazy. Like I had gotten so many of them, and like, dude, I could not sell them, bro. Like nobody was buying them. And then I finally was like, you know what? What am I doing? I'm not even using them. Like I got to build myself a set. So I ended up building this thing, right? And finally, until I built it and I started like showing it and stuff, that's when like, you know, my homies started buying them, and other people I didn't know started buying them. And then I restocked like one last time, and then that was it. I just ended up not wanting to sell it. I got them from the company Hobby Zone out in Europe back in like, I think it was like 2020, 2021, around that time, right? And it was cool and everything, but it was just, I don't know. It was just kind of a hassle in a way to get these things, and I just kind of gave up on it. But if you type in Hobby Zone, you know, for model building, there is a site in the US that sells them. So I'm pretty sure you could get it from them, and they have them in stock, you know. Right now I'm good. Like I don't need any more units to attach, but man, if I did, I'd just buy it from them, like direct, you know. I'll just look it up, but they're online. But yeah, somebody who, I can't remember your name right now. Sorry. But that just popped in my head right now about that. But yeah, that was dang. That was back then, bro. That was cool. But yeah, these things come in handy. You know, there's mixed reviews about them. Like I have other homies who have tried them, and they weren't really fond of it. And they just said because they felt like it took up a lot of space from their bench. And for me, it works. I mean, I have a small little basic table, And I this is enough room all right here, you know, and I could just reach and grab what I need, you know. But yeah, look those up in case if you're looking for those hobby zone pieces. All right, sweet. So we just jumped down. We went down the ladder. Let's see. See, we got Kevin. He's saying, Edgar, how did the underside on the roof come out under using the white marker? Oh, yeah, let me show you. So this is where we're at right now from that video right here. Here, let me turn it. Yeah, it got good coverage. I feel like I could still layer more if I want, you know, but I think it's just kind of cool. Like you could still see a little bit of the purple in there, like a shade. But I feel like last night when I recorded it, you know, I did some hits and then I left the marker and I was like, I'll continue on it later. But I'm most likely will, dude, because I know the pillars. I started hitting all those and I really love the way those came out. Those are already white right there and on this side. But there's still some other little areas. I did this whole area right here too. So it I don't know, man. These markers I feel like they're really good. Definitely something, you know, like a, I don't know if the word game changer, but I feel like they are, just because there was a time when for certain markers, you know, you would get like a Gundam marker in black and the paint, it gets coverage, but then it's not acrylic. It's like a different type of paint. And sometimes it would like lag to dry, or it was just different. These dry fast. You start layering on there and they dry fast and you could keep coming back and layer and layer and layer. So that's the one thing I really, really liked about that right there. All right, let's go the other way now. Yeah, I could hear it's making a little noise as I'm sanding, and I like that little noise. It's not a squeak, but it's like you can hear the sanding noise. So that just means I'm just cutting right through this thing. Bam. Yeah, but it's Friday, man. Just chilling, you know. Um, this weekend gonna do some things with the family, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll be back live. You know, as much weekends as I could think, like, oh, I'm gonna be doing, like, I'll be free. Nah, sometimes I get really busy, so I try to just take advantage of the time I have and work on these builds so we could get them done. You know, I feel like I've been in a zone right now though, like with working on all this stuff. I've been really embracing all these different things. Even if I run into a problem or something happens, I'm not looking at it like oh man, like a negative thing, you know, like oh I messed up or whatever. I'm just like, all right, how can we fix it, or what can I do to continue, because I want to keep this momentum going, you know. And I started to realize that as long as I put in like 1 hour to 2 hours of work every day or every other day or whatever, like on a build, that's enough to take it, like to progress to that next step, to get me closer and closer to finishing the model. That's what I've been noticing a lot. And also I've been kind of trying to discipline myself to record a video before, you know, like I go live or before I even get started on the build, just to kind of go over things and document what's going on. All right, so we just been hammering the bottom side right now. Let's see, let's let this dry right here. Let's see. Yeah, it's way dull now. Look at that. All right, so we got to get it right here. There's like a little area that dips down, and then just a little bit right here, not too much. We got to hit that. Cool. But yeah, like I said, this stuff takes a little bit of time. You got to give it some attention. You just focus on a little spot. I don't think I'm going to completely flatten it, but we do want to kind of get in there. Let's get this bottom side of the door. What do you guys got going on this weekend? Any plans? Are you guys chilling or going anywhere. There we go. Boom. Here, let me get in this position right here. Yeah, the other night I was pulling out some of my builds that are just on standby that I started, and some are still in the like primer stages, and some of them are not. Like they're kind of like painted, clear coated, but then I just kind of left them. You know that I really need to get back on them. And I was getting excited. I was like, oh man, now I know what I need to do to this car, and I just need to like finish these up so I could continue on that one. And I have this Lamborghini, this like Liberty Walk one that I was working on back then, and then I put it away during that time when I was moving, and now I'm like, dude, I need to bust that one out. Like I'm getting hyped on that too. But I think that one, I don't think I'm gonna do like custom paint with that one. I think what I'm gonna do is gonna be more. I'm gonna use splash paints because the thing with splash with Sam is he carries a lot of the OEM or like the true colors to the car, right? And yeah, it's cool. You know, you could get really wild with like a Lambo and stuff, but I don't know. I'm still kind of seeing like, should I use a color that's a factory color that's an official Lambo color, or should I just rock like maybe not the brand Lamborghini, but a different brand that's a really cool like automotive color that he offers that I can use. So I'm still kind of debating that right now, trying to figure that one out. Here, let me open this up because I put my coffee in here. Ugh. Let's see. Better not. Imagine I spill the coffee on the. I gotta take off this lid because then if not, it's gonna stay hot in this tumbler. Here, let me close this thing. Woo! We got some steam coming out. Here, you can see it right there. We got this full cup right here. Well, not full. Like, we still need like 10%. Oh man, this thing's hot, and it doesn't even taste that good. It's just, I don't even put sugar on it or nothing. Just like that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just got used to it, I guess. And then whenever I go to a coffee shop, yeah, I don't even get no sugar. Just coffee. That's it. Just a cup of coffee. Just black. Nothing else. Nothing. You know. And I don't have to wait that long. You know, it's like a quick pour out. You know, they put those espresso shots on it, maybe one or two, and I'm like, oh man, now this is cool coffee, but I don't have that stuff. Let's see. Bam. All right, let's get back into it. So now we're moving on. We're gonna do this part. See, like right here, it feels rough. Watch, I'm gonna show you guys something. Let me switch out the angles. All right. So right here, watch. I mean, it looks grainy. Look at that. Ugh, look at that. It looks crazy. You feel it, right? And then right here too. So watch this graininess. Let's focus on this right now. Because I'm showing you guys this because if you guys ever run into this or you're clear coating your car, you're like, oh, let me try House of Color. And then you're like, hey, what the heck? What happened? You know, or anything, any kind of clear. Rattle can, you run into these things and you're like, dude, do I need to put more clear? What do I need to do? You know, sometimes you just got to sand it down, you know? But let's get it in a comfortable kind of position right here. And then let's see here. We're gonna sand that little gritty, feels like sandpaper area. See if you can hear it. Watch. You hear that? That is just the sound that I'm cutting. I'm cutting right through that. and getting it out of the way. And then we'll look back at it again. But let me go side to side a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm using like this side edge right here too. So it's kind of like this. I'm not like this, like flat in the middle. No, it's more the edge. If I needed to do the whole round part, then I'd probably switch to something like this, because then you could kind of bend this. But even if this feels too thick, I can go down to the other millimeter side. Then it's even more flexible. But right now I'm just using that edge to be somewhat flat and stern. Like, let me see. Oh yeah, I don't feel it no more. That that felt weird. I think what happens is when I'm spraying my clear, I get clear in here, as you can see, like in there, but I don't want to put too much clear in here, because if you put too much and then you're putting the hood back on, it's gonna throw it off. Your hood might not even want to close anymore, you know, because it's too much clear. And I think what happened is I didn't put too much clear around here, that it got grainy, you know. But we're getting rid of that right now though, the graininess. All right, let's see. Let's dry it. Let me spray it, and then we'll try it. And then I'll bring it back up just so you guys could see if we got how it looks. Let's see here. All right, look at that. It's starting to look different now. It doesn't look as grainy as how it was. It looks more dull now. Even when I feel it, I don't feel it right there. But I feel for something like that, I might need to go even lower. This is 6,000. Let me grab a 4,000. Just for those little inner areas. Here, let's hit it with the 4, and then we'll bring it back up to the 6. Then later to an 8, and then to the 10,000. We got to bring it all the way up right there. All right, this one. Let's see. Let me see here. Look at that. See how it has like that, like a little bit of white right there? That's like the clear right there. That's the clear being sanded with a mix with water and a little bit of soap right there. That's where we're really cutting buff right there. So let me just got to be very careful when you get to the edges, because you don't want to, it's really thin on the edge, and you don't want to you know, cut through that real crazy. Let's see where we're at now. Oh yeah, look at this. See how it's glossy on the top, it's dull, and then we turn it, like right here, it's not so grainy no more. Now we really flatten that area. Like the clear, it's not all like I don't know, that graininess. So I'm gonna do the same for this side. With this side, it's a little bit more minimal. This one was worse on this side. Up top, you can't even feel really anything. So the 4,000, that's only when it's something really grainy, kind of more dramatic. But I would not do the overall, like too much of the overall. Like I'd be scared to do the roof. I'd probably burn through the roof, you know. And it's tricky when you're doing a white roof too, because you can't really tell in a way. You go by feel. You could look, but sometimes it's kind of hard. You know, you have to take your time on the roof. Like climbing a roof. It's the same. Nah. Let's see. Bam, 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 bam. There we go. Oh yeah, I can see a little bit right here. Bam. All right, cool. Let's see. Let me fix this comment. Oh, there we go. I see it better. See, Kevin says, I really enjoy the live streams. It motivates me to work on my models too. I've been binge watching your podcast. Great info. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Those kinds of words. Oh, will progressive sanding bring the shine back, or will you need a spray clear again? Yeah. So right now, with what we're doing is, we're dulling it out, and we're taking out the shine, basically, right? We're removing that shine, that layer, and then what we do is, like, when you're in your lower grits, you start to dull it out, and then as you go higher in grits, you start getting rid of those scratches. So it does somewhat polish it, but not too much. After that, you do need to. I like to do is do the Maguires, like the whole setup right there of just sanding, because if I don't do that, then you end up with like the car really dull. And you know, whenever you're sanding like this, wet sanding, and you start to see dull, don't freak out. Don't be like, oh man, this is it. You do have the option though to clear if you wanted to, but you do have to sand it, because let's say like how right now it's all shiny. I can't tell, but there's fingerprints on this from me touching it. If I clear right over it, it's the car's contaminated. Like, it's gonna react. So right now, as I'm doing the sanding, I'm flattening all that stuff. I'll give it a nice wash, and then after that, if I decided, you know what, I need to clear it, I could clear it again. You know, we can go ahead and just re-clear it. But that's not what I'm trying to do with this one. I'm just trying to just like polish this one out, like sand it down, and then after that, um, get it, do the whole Maguire's thing, and then bam, done. You know. Then after that, we'll start to layer all the chrome on there as well. All right, cool. So yeah, this is looking a lot better right there. Let me here. Let me see what's going on right here with the 4. Is it doing anything? If not, dang, I think I might have to rock the. The good thing is when I clear this car, I put a good amount of layers of clear. I don't really I don't act tight with it. Like, that first coat is a mist coat, really light, like just barely, just letting that just lay on there. You know, it's barely touching the body all around. And then after that, I'm like, all right, now it's time to spray. I wait after I do that little mist. I wait like 10 minutes. You know, I'm doing other stuff, kind of just chilling, waiting around. I put a little timer on my phone, and then once that alarm hits, I'm ready to go. Then I start doing more of a medium coat on there, covering the whole car, starting from that bottom. And then after that, I pretty much, I'm like, all right, cool. Let's let's move on, and let's do the rest. You know. After that sesh, I end up waiting at least 15 minutes, sometimes 20, you know, depending how the car is looking like, because everything's starting to flow out and dry. And then after that, we go, all right, cool, let's do that final one. And yeah, that final one, you're definitely gonna see the gloss, like right there. You're gonna see yourself, the reflection of yourself in the car. You're like, what? We're here. We made it. We made it to the stage. All right, cool. All right. Let's see here. So yeah, and I'm just lightly, sanding it, like going over the car. Any parts, I'm not trying to go too hard or like put too much force, you know. Okay, like right here, there's a little bit of it's really rough right here, and I just want to sand it because that's where I had backmast, and I put the, the when you put the paint on there, right? You backmask it and then you clear it, and it's kind of rough in that edge. So I'm just trying to hit the edge real quick, just to get whatever off. Oh, there you go. Feels way better now. Yeah, because there was somewhat of a little step. Now we're getting rid of the edge, that step. So this way, when we lay down our chrome, the chrome lays out a lot better. All right, so let's wash this now. Bam. Let's see here. All right, cool. Just letting it kind of dry here. There we go. It's starting to look more flat. That's what I want. Yeah, because right here we're starting to. When you start to see those little like dots right there, that's because you still haven't reached completely. It needs to be like fully. It's more of that. We're getting rid of the orange peel on there. So I know some people might be like, "Oh, dude, you're ruining it," or "Why does it look like that?" You know. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're just sanding, getting rid of a lot of this orange peel. That way, it starts to look more crispy or more wet. And this is just one side. Still got the rest of the car. What the hell? Did you guys hear that? Bah! Sounded like something landed on the roof. Woo! Deco 213 Art. What's up, man? How you doing? How are you, man? We're over here just wet sanding the body on this, knocking down that orange peel, just getting rid of it. That way, later when we polish it, we start to feel and get the rewards from it. Like, oh, it was worth it. Cause yeah, I mean, it looks shiny when you take photographs and everything in the beginning, but then if you don't give this thing attention, later people want to see it in person. Be like, what the hell? What happened here? Looks all crazy. Oh, crazy. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Let's do this side right here, this little corner. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right. Looks all crazy. Right there. Let's get rid of that little debris from the Klear. Let's put this down right now. All right, let me get some coffee real quick, guys. See, it's already been, dang, it's already been 45 minutes. Crazy. I feel like we just started. Yeah, put this over here. All right. The other day I was, working on the models. I was staying up late, and then it was time to go to sleep. It was midnight. I was like, you know what? I better go inside. Can't be out here. You know. Normally, midnight's like if I start streaming at 9 or like 10, usually by midnight I'm done. Like during the week, I'm like, all right, I gotta chill. I'll continue tomorrow or something. But I need to really kick it. And I start to get ready later in the night to go to bed and stuff, and I'm laying there tossing and turning. I'm just like can't sleep. And I'm just thinking and thinking and thinking. I'm like, what's on my mind? Well, what's on my mind is like the car. Like, what am I working on? And all I keep thinking about is like, what do I need to do next? What do I need to do next? That way, tomorrow, when I have the chance to come through and work on the car, I actually do what I visually already planned and saw. So I started thinking about the Pi Wagon. And I'm like, okay, that car is a pink color from what I see in the box artwork, from other box artworks, and even down to the newest release, the repress that Atlantis put out. And I was like, all right, well, I want to do it pink for sure, just to like an homage to the OG, to what it is, the way it's on the box art, the way Tom Daniel drew it on there, just the way it looks. I was like, that's what I want to do. And I was like, but it's not gonna be just a solid like pink color and that's it. I was like, I gotta do it right. If this is a show rod, I gotta do something special kind of thing for it. So then I started thinking about like, well, what colors do I have right now at the moment? Like what colors do I have? And I do have candy pink. I do have this limited edition House of Color pink color called Don Juan, or in Spanish it's Don Juan, but everybody who I hear say it in English, it's like Don Juan, whatever. But it's a nice color, and I'm like, dang, that's on my mind. That one, some white pearl as well. So there's all these ideas I'm getting as to like, all right, I'm gonna base coat it white, and then I'm gonna pearl it white here, and then I'm gonna hit it with some of that pink Don Juan right here, Then I'm gonna candy it here. Like I'm already getting all these ideas in my head. I'm visually like starting to visualize how this car is gonna look like, you know. And before I wasn't like that. Before I really wasn't in my mind picturing the what I was gonna. I was just like, cool. I'm gonna paint it this color or whatever, and like we'll just do it. And I feel like when I didn't have the visual in my head, I was like running into issues. And I used to ask like people like, oh, how do you like what color you're gonna paint it, or how do you know that the model's gonna come out like that or what? And they would always be like, no, I thought about it already, or like this is the way I have it in mind. I wanted to have this, and this, and this. Like they already knew what they wanted. And it's funny because I kind of look at that as like when you get out of high school and you're gonna go to like college or whatever, community college or whatever, university, and all your friends, everybody, even the girl you're dating at the time. So like, what are you gonna study, or what are you gonna do after school, or what? And oh, I'm gonna go to this college. All right, cool. What are you gonna study though? Like, what classes are you gonna sign up for? What are you gonna take? And that's the one question that like you can't even answer that sometimes. You're always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take the required elect or not electives, required classes, whatever. And then what are you gonna major in? Oh, I don't know. You know. And I remember being like that. Oh, I don't know. And I stayed the I don't know for years until I stopped going to school. You know, I was like, I just wasn't feeling it because I felt lost. I felt like I didn't even know where I was going. I just felt like, well, I'm just coming here because I work in the mornings and I have to go to school, I guess. That way my parents don't say nothing or whatever, or you know, like any little excuse like that, right? And now I kind of look at it like that. Not like school, but that example of like, you know what? As long as I know, you know, where I'm going, what I need to do, or what's the mission, or what do we need to, what's the outcome out of this? If I see the visual at the end, then I feel like everything comes together, But let's take a look now where we're at. Look at this. We're going in the path. All right, let me explain something. Let me zoom in. So this is where we're going. Look at the difference. This we haven't even done this side. See, it's all glossy, it's all shiny. But then you see all these nasty smudges from my hand, right? From water, fingerprints, and all that, right? Ugh. That's not how we want it to look, guys. Bam! We want it to be like this. So, right here, like you can see how it's like pretty flat. We got nice coverage right here. We gotta do a little bit right there. Not too much, just a little. We gotta be careful though right here. We're in murky waters right here. So we're gonna do that. We're going to do a little bit right here too. Not too much. It does not have to be completely flat. We're just getting the big areas. But I'm happy where we're headed now. This top portion, we only got to do right here, just above. A little bit right here. And maybe right here. And this I should be done. Heck yeah. This is how we want it to look. The whole car. The back, the sides, and the roof. The roof is going to be tricky. We're going to have to be very, very careful with the roof. We don't want to burn right through the thing because then I'm going to have to like touch up the little area where I burned through. But here, let's do this. Let me just dampen this, and I'm just going to go ahead and sand so I can visually see the area. Ooh, let me turn this way. Sorry, guys. I keep moving around because I just want to put this as close as possible to my eye to visually see it. Woo. Nice. Look at that. Bam. Starting to look better. Here, let me go real quick on the chat. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Leaving you guys hanging. I'm like getting into it. Let me see. Deco 213 Art. There was a post you had a while back, and you had a model soaking in soap and water. I don't know if you remember. What does that do? I'm trying to think. it might have been a resin body that I had it in water. But even before that, so there was a time back then when I would start building a brand new model, right? I would get this like plastic little tub. I'd put water, dish soap, and I would put the body in there with the parts. And it was just because I wanted to clean everything. I felt like, oh, I want to clean everything, whatever, from the mold grease and all this stuff. And I felt like it was more in my head because anytime I pull out a model, I don't see any of that. I don't feel any of that, right? But I was just being careful. And then after that, I would go in and start sanding, and then I'd wash it again and sand it and wash it again. And then one of my friends was like, hey, do you wash your models like before you get started? And I'm like, yeah, like hell yeah. Like I always wash them. And he's like, why? If you're going to sand it, like you're doing an extra step for nothing. And I was like, what do you mean? And we were talking about it, and I was like, dang, I think you're right. I was like, and he's like, nah, just try it. Next time, just get it, just jump right in. And I was like, all right. And I did it. I started jumping in like, all right, cool. And then I was like, oh, all right, nothing happened. We're good. So now I don't do that no more. Now I just go like, I grab the model and I just start clipping things, start sanding it. It's not till later I'll wash it, but not right away, But if, let's say I'm getting like a Jimmy Flintstone, let's see, here, I have one right here, right in front of me. The pink, here, let me bring it out. Better not drop everything. Oh, shoot. All right, this one right here. So this is resin. This is the color of the resin on the inside. And normally when you buy one of these, you get a Jimmy Flintstone resin body. That one you do feel like a material release on there. Here, let me see if I have one that's not even painted. Let me check, because oh no one has primer. Oh, we have a winner. We found one. All right, cool. Perfect. Hell yeah. Good thing you're bringing this up. Let's talk about it real quick. Tangent, quick one. All right, so this one, bro. This is a Jimmy Flintstone 308. That's the part number for this one. So this one happens to be a Fleetmaster Coupe, and it has a chopped roof. So when you buy one of these, it comes with the Jimmy Flintstone Studios information right there. And then it also has the instructions. Working with resin and pewter kits. Talks about cleaning, warping, bodywork, painting, paint stripping, gluing, photo etch, and all that good stuff, right? For cleaning, it says before using parts must be washed off with soap. And then it recommends Wesley's White Wall Cleaner and alcohol to remove mold release. I could never get my hands on this stuff, so I never used it. Alcohol, I don't know. I didn't go that far. I don't want to be smelling alcohol. If I had to wash this one, I just bust out that thing again and bust this out and put it in there for like whatever, like dunk it in there, let it soak in there. Then I'd get like a 400 grit like a 400 grit and just scuff the whole thing in water though. And then leave it in there. And just leave it in there for like at least a day. So that way all that stuff, all those chemicals start to leave, right? And then once you fill it, go and primer the whole thing. And then let it dry in the sun. And then after that, scuff it. Like sand it, basically. Start sanding it. Even if you go down to this color, it's all good. You just want to make sure that whatever stays, like it's like gripping it, that teeth, and then throw it again in the water and just leave it there for another day. After that, now you could really come back and just blast this thing with primer and sand it, not completely down, but just enough, and have it like this one. This is all just primer. Now I could paint over this now. And like I could sand this really lightly, paint over it, and I won't be afraid that this paint's gonna come off. if you don't prep the foundation right on these, what I've seen horror stories, I've seen it on Facebook groups where this whole thing will just peel off and the paint just comes off. But yeah, to answer that question, back then, to clean up the model, but not so much no more. But only for like the resin stuff. That for sure. Oh shoot, hold on. That for sure. Look at this thing. This thing's all looking crazy right here. Digging it. We're getting somewhere. We're seeing some progress. Let's see. Let's get it right here. Bam. Yeah, later I'm gonna do some videos like explaining how to mix certain paints. Like if you buy House of Color paint and you don't buy it reduced and you need to reduce it, I'll do some videos on that. I was thinking about hitting up uh, Dave from Coast Airbrush and telling him, have you ever thought about possibly doing like your own type of instructional tech sheet or a book or booklet or just something for the airbrush artist that it tells you like what's the ratios to mix, metallics, pearls, and also clear everything. Because the thing is like when you look at the House of Color tech sheet manuals, the instructions it gives you, that's more for using the spray guns. Like it'll say like a 2-to-1, like 2 parts paint, 1 part reducer. But then some people will tell you, oh, you're using airbrush application, right? Yeah. Well, you could just do a 1-to-1. You don't have to reduce it that much. Or not reduce it that much. It doesn't have to have that much material. You could do 1-to-1. And it's like, for real? But the book says, yeah, that's what the book says because originally it wasn't intended to be airbrush, you know? But now it's people rocking the airbrush on it. And I was like, So then I'm like, man, sometimes I forget. Sometimes like I'll take breaks from painting and then I come back into it. I'm like, I need to refresh my memory. What was that ratio again? So I'm gonna throw that idea at him and wonder see what he says, if that's a yay or a nay. Because you never know. You never know. That'd be cool if there were like little flashcards or something. But if not, even just like a paper. If not, maybe I'll do my own. I'll do my own paper. All right, cool. So we're going to spray this. We're going to move on to the next side. And we're just going to let this one dry out. Right there. Bam. Let's see. So before I hit it with my Meguiar's, the highest grit would be this 10,000. This is the last layer right here, the 10,000. Once you reach that, then you're done. Like, like right now, we were dipping into to this one, the 4,000 on just this one side. Once I do the whole, body, then the next sessions are going to be like doing the whole body again in the 6,000, doing the whole body again in the 8,000, and then another one of this. So that's going to be like later. Like, I don't think I'll be able to do that tonight because, dang, I'd be here forever. I probably needed 3 cups of coffee. Here, let me get some more. Let's see. It says, I think it was painting. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because normally when I paint, I don't think before I clear them, I don't think I dunk them anymore. I don't think I do anything like that, especially House of Color. Once the House of Color is painted, it's just like that thing's ready to clear. Like I'm not even trying to like have it just sitting around for a while. I've done that with some other models where I'd paint them and I wouldn't clear them and I just let them sit around. Then they get all dusty and nasty, and then you clear them. You clean them up as much as you you can't, but then you clear them and then you see what happens. You'll see some results right there. You'll start to like react just because, so much stuff landed on it. And then also there's something interesting like from watching the House of Color videos and watching John Kosmowski talk about it. He was saying something about, he said like when you lay down, the paint, he said like think about it as like, I forgot how he just like what words he used, but he was saying it like he used his hand like this, and then like it's open, and like if you wait too much time, then it closes, and then whatever layer of paint lands on it, it does not make that contact because this part closed, right? But if it's still open, let's say you spray your base and your candies and everything, and now let's say you're not going to use SG100 or any inner coat, and you're just like, I just need to clear this thing. These things are still open, so then when these droplets start to land, they bond together and then they hold on to each other, right? So it was really interesting, like the way he was describing that in a video. Like I caught that right there. I was like, oh dang, I didn't even think about it like that, but that does make a lot of sense, And there was, I remember my friend, he has a model that it got cleared, and then it got re-cleared, and when it got re-cleared, it like, it looks crazy. Like that car needs to be sanded one more time and cleared a final time, but it needs to be clean though, because I feel like something landed on it that made it react the way it reacted, and it looks kind of crazy. And then there's other cars that I've seen that you could tell they waited too long to clear it, and those little capsules or whatever closed up, and the clear is just not receiving it. Like the paint is not receiving the clear. It's like the door closed. You you're not invited, bro. You can't come inside. Like that's it. You're done. There's a certain window. That's why a lot of people, when they're doing custom jobs, they spray an inner coat over it to cover up the graphics, to cover up the work, and they let it sit there for weeks, months, and then they come back and then they scuff it, they sand it, and then they could start working over it. And it's like you wake it back up once you scuff it when you're using like an SG100 inner coat for something like that. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. I've tested it out and it works. I remember Armando used to always tell me like, oh yeah, just put SG100 on there, spray it over your model, and then later come back to it and just continue on if you can't work on it and it's already painted or whatever. And I'm like, for real? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I can't really like picture it. And then time passed. I wouldn't do it, but then later I started doing it, and then I started to really see like, oh dude, like the pros with that, the benefits, Then I was like, dang, gotta always have this kind of stuff. Let me see where we're at. We're at the door. Bam. What's the time for you guys right now? Where you guys are at? Let me know your time and the city. Let me see here. Let's get to the door. Oh yeah, this door's a little rough. Some debris probably landed on there. But yeah, I enjoy doing all this stuff right here. I think the one of the biggest challenges is gonna be applying that foil. The not bare metal foil, but the Hasegawa mirror finish. That stuff's gonna be something of a mission, just because I know it's gonna require a lot of it around the housing of the roof and all that. But dang. All right, let's see. We got Tim. What's up, Tim? See, 2:14 in the morning. Wow. Galena, Kansas. That's what's up, man. Thank you for being here. We also got Kevin's models. It's 12:15 here in Phoenix. Oh, dope, man. Oh, we're in the same time zone right there. That's cool. All right, so let's see here. We're still scuffing this side right here. Want to get it nice and flat and dull as much as we can. You know, I know there's gonna be some little crevices we just cannot get in there. Cool. Man. Let's see. He says we have freeze warnings this morning and yesterday it was in the 80s. Dang, dude, that's crazy. When that happens, like when you guys get those warnings, are they kind of like, hey, like don't go outside, you know, like stay in, um, just like be careful when you go out. All right, let's spray some water on this. Let's see where we're at. Let's get rid of some of the debris of the Klear. Let's clean the area. And we'll wipe it down right now. Maybe I should get a microfiber towel instead of using this thing to dry it. Here, hold on. I'll be back. Let's see if it don't fall. We'll leave it there. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get this better. I hear a car out there, kind of honking. Let's take a look. Who's out there? Who's out there lurking? Lurking McGurkin. Oh yeah, I see a car right there. What? Who's that? Post it up. Look at this. Posted. Who's this? What? Nah. Let's see. All right, we'll leave this right here. Let's see. Just ducked here. Back down the hatch. Oh man, no way. 500? Crazy. I'm assuming everybody knows each other then. Or somewhat, you know? Man. Yeah, around here, I mean, there's a lot of people, but still, it's like when I always kick it in the neighborhood, I start to, like, you know, people start to know you, like, oh, what's up, you know? But it's a trip, man. Like, even just like neighbors or people, you know, even from back then, I never like tell them, I never say like, oh, I build models or I like music. I don't say nothing about it. And it's not that I don't like ashamed, nothing like that. That's just private for me with them, you know, unless I'm like hella cool with them, like where we're kicking it, like they coming over and I'm coming over, you know, that kind of vibe, then that's different. But if it's just like a neighbor that, you know, we're just living here and then we're gonna bounce, like, nah, I don't say nothing. I just keep it chill. All right, cool. Yeah, because then they'll go around telling everybody, you know. Oh yeah, that guy builds more. Oh yeah, that guy has an herb. Oh, he has equipment. Oh yeah, dude, chill, bro. There's nothing going on. What are you talking about? What? All right, we're almost done. All right, cool. All right, right here. I see a little spot right here above this door. I gotta flip it upside down. I can only visually see it. It's like right here. There's like a little dot. Let's see. Can't see it, but I could see it from right here. I need to flatten this thing. All right, right there. I'll check the chat in a little bit, guys. Hang on, just real quick. Yeah, I don't even know if there's any model shows going on this weekend here, my area. I don't think so. All right. Let's see. All right, cool. Oh, dang, right on. So everybody will know what's up right there. This one I just built it just for fun, bro. Yeah, I didn't build it for a show, but I probably will bring it out to some shows, out here locally, just so people can see it. And oh shoot, yeah, I think most of my cars when I build them, I'm not building them like I'm not thinking like, oh man, the only one, the bug that I did that one, I specifically did it for a show that's coming up, and that's because Armando Flores is doing a presentation. And he's doing all bugs, and yeah, that's the one that I built a model for to be a part of his presentation to support him on there. And I don't know, like moving forward, if there's other shows that I'm like, you know what, I want to enter it in the contest to support, then I'd most likely put it in there. But I don't know, it's I think the vibe is just super chill, you know, like any shows you go. I think if as like you're just there bringing your models so people could see your models, and you're also showing love to the show and you're supporting the show, and that way people get to see your stuff. It's like it's a time where you get to bring out the cars that you've built, you spent hours on, that you're proud of, and now you bring them out to these shows because other people get to see them. And if you didn't bring them, they didn't get to see them. I regret doing that. I did that a lot. Like I'd go to shows and I would not bring no models. Like I would be either vending or I would just go just to hang out, and I wouldn't bring anything, you know. And I don't know. Now I just like I'm like, nah, I gotta bring some stuff out, but I'm not too concerned about like, oh, I'm gonna enter because I'm gonna enter it to compete and all that. Like if I enter, I'll enter the category because I'm bringing the car and I want to put it in that category, and whatever happens happens. Um, for me the fun is just getting to hang out with my homies, with everybody, and then just meeting new people. Because I always end up meeting someone new that I had never met before, and just getting to talk to them and chill, and then just checking out the cars, like everything that's there. To me that's like a big plus right there. Just get like just chilling with everybody, because yeah, like I've had friends who like though back in the day they would enter, they'd be working so hard they enter, and then they wouldn't win or get recognized like something, and that would bug them out, and then they'd bounce, and I'd be like, damn. And then later, like some of them kind of stopped building models. Like that was kind of it. And I never questioned it. Like, oh, why'd you quit or what? What's going on? But I'm sure they were probably frustrated that like nothing happened as far as taking something home or whatever. But everyone's different. Everyone's different of why they uh, compete or do their thing. Right there. Let's see. Closet Model Contest, Springfield, 16th of May in Kansas City, May 30th. Oh, that's a cool name. Like a closet modeler. Yup. Dang, bust out all the stuff, that that nobody brings out. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they back then when I was out of like in high school as a senior, and I was getting all involved. I was starting to get into DJing, right? Not to DJ like, oh, I'm gonna go play at a club or a party, house party or nothing. This was like 2001, and my friend, he had shown me this VHS tape. He let me borrow a VHS tape. It was like a competition video where these dudes are like scratching, beat juggling. They're doing all these crazy things I never had seen before, ever. I didn't even know you could do that on a turntable. And I was like, what? What are they doing? So I was like, dude, I want to learn that. I'm going to the store, Guitar Center, buying turntables and all this stuff. And I was like getting deep into that stuff. And then I never wanted to. I wasn't telling people that. Oh, like I bought tape. Nothing. It was just my friend and myself. And time passed, and we would just be like, I'd be in my bedroom just practicing. He'd be in his practicing, and then we'd talk later on the phone. Oh, what'd you learn? Watch, listen, And this is like, man, cell phones were. I don't even think we even had a cell phone in 2001, or maybe we did. I don't know. And I remember I'd like turn up the volume and be like, listen to this. Look what I'm doing now. Like I learned a new scratch or whatever. And then, we'd be doing that. But then if somebody would find out that like, oh, hey, you DJ, hey, bro, play at my house party. Nah, I'm not that kind of DJ. What are you talking about? I didn't want to do that. So then we always had to explain to people. Like they'd be like, what do you mean? So you're telling me you have turntables, you have records, you have a mixer and all this, but you're not a DJ? It doesn't make sense. I'm like, it's hard. It's kind of complicated. All right. It's like we do all that, but we're not doing that. We're actually like scratching. We're like remixing music live in the moment and just tearing it up. And they didn't get it. You would have to like perform it. And then they would be like, oh, okay. Oh, damn. Okay. That's different. So I was like, yeah, of course. Like you cannot play this anywhere. Like this is very underground right now. And then we were like, what are we going to call this? So then we started learning this from other people. They were like, oh, you're a bedroom DJ. Bedroom DJ. Yeah. You only play in your bedroom. Like you do bust out, but only if there's a competition. That's when you come out of the bedroom and you go compete in front of people, but you're not out there like playing. So I was like, oh, bedroom DJ. So I kind of like the way that sounded, and a lot of people adapted that, calling it that. And right now when you said closet model, it reminds me of that, the whole bedroom DJ thing. It's like the same. It's like bedroom model builder. Or closet, more like closet, because you keep everything in there too. But that's interesting. Bam. All right, so this side's done. This whole side. We're just gonna spray it one more time, and then we're gonna dry it, and we're gonna stop working on this side now. I'll inspect it tomorrow off camera. If tomorrow I notice under the sun or whatever, or I'm not so tired or whatever, I'll be like, oh, you know what? It needs a little bit more here. We could still do it a little more here. But look at that. It's nice and dull. That's cool. Okay, let's go to this side now. Let's see where we're at. Over here, let's spray it as well. Let me see. Okay. This one needs still a little bit more work. A little bit more. We're getting there. I feel like we started just kind of jumping around. But let's just focus on this top area first, and then we'll come back to another panel. Ah, dang. I thought I was going to drop it right there. What the heck? My hands just start acting weird. Let me see. Oh, let me go back to the question. Sorry, guys. I think let's see. When you do a contest, how long do you actually work on your car? Oh, let's see, Tim. Dang. I think the one time it was like 6 months that I was just like working on a build that I was like, all right, this one I'm going in, you know, probably like 6 months at the most. And yeah, I used to lag it sometimes. It'll be 6 months, and then other builds, not to compete, but just to build, it'll be like a year, 2 years, and it was just the circumstances, like whatever, wherever I had the space, if I had the bench up or didn't have the bench. But right now, I mean, I'm in cloud nine right now. Like, I have my stuff all set up, laid out. I don't have to like, tear anything down. Like when I'm done streaming live, all I have to do is shut off the power, and I could just leave everything here, and it's cool. Nothing's gonna touch nothing, and then except for maybe insects or something. And then once it's done, then the next day I'll come back and we're back at it. So I feel like now my build process is flowing better. There's less time. And as long as I have that visual of what I want, we could do it. We could go forward. Right there. Let me go back. Oh, that's cool. So it used to enter model car contest neighborhood of Walmart's real big around here. Man, the 70s, nice. Got third place both years. Wolves worked in the mall. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I mean, it's never too late, man. Like, right, I feel like anytime, especially right now, is a good time to get back into building if you haven't. It's there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people doing it, and you could find it anywhere. Like obviously here in the platform on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, and I think once you get back into it, you kind of you start to everything starts to come back, you know, and then you think about, man, like what was it back then that held me back? What was it that I didn't learn, or that I used to see that, man, that was difficult? And try to attack that, because once you can tackle that and get over that, then that's like a huge confidence boost right there. And then after that, you're like, dude, like I can do this, you know. Like all this stuff I'm doing, you guys could do this, dude. Like this isn't nothing crazy. Like you guys can do this. It's just time. It's just time, putting in the work, putting in the time, having the right tools and everything, and just doing it up, and having the motivation to do it. Cause yeah, that's the thing, the motivation, like the time, motivation, everything, like that. Then you could definitely do this. I mean, when I got back into it, I was just doing just rattle cans. That was it. To me, airbrush was like learning a foreign language, you know? I was like, what? Like, I can't do that. And then my friend, shout outs to my friend Rudy, he was the one who was like, hey, have you ever airbrushed? I'm like, nah. And then he's all like, yeah, you should come through. I have an airbrush. You know, I'll have you, like, if you want to try out spraying some spoons. And we started talking about House of Color at the time. And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then I finally got to really like try it out. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. And I don't know, just from there, you know. All right, let's see the roof. Let's go at it. Let's go ahead and be safe. Let's go with the 8. Let's rock it with this one because I'm just a little nervous that something's gonna happen and we're gonna end up burning through or something. I don't know. Let's see. I'm just playing around here with the angles. All right, maybe we could do this one like this. Let's see right here. See, so I could see it visually. I just want to see if I feel anything. No, let me see. I'm gonna run through the whole thing right here. If I feel no resistance, then we're gonna have to probably drop it down. Let me spray the roof. Oh, sorry. See, now I could see that. Before I could not see that. I would just be like covering up that cam right there. Yeah, let's just switch this up. Let's get it back to where we were. Here, I'll scoot over more. All right. No, not the 4. Let's see. Let's go 6. With this one, I'm not too worried about like that it has to look like this. We do have to scuff it down, but we're not going to go too deep down just because I did spray a lot of Klear on the roof, but also it's kind of hard to visually see it. So I'm going in this back and forth motion. Feels like really, really good, really smooth. Now we're going to go on this motion. Cool. Yeah, easy. All right, let's spray it. All right, that wasn't so bad. Let's take a look now, though. Let's take a look visually. Okay, see 1, 2, 3. So from looking at the roof, I'm going like this. There's like 3 little like pits, like little indentations that I need to remove. Let me see. All right, let's see. We're gonna. I have to do the 4 here on this little spot. There we go. Because if you don't get those little areas, you'll see it. Like maybe not to the eye, but when you take a photo, you're gonna see that, dude. You're gonna be like, "What, dude? Come on, dog." Yeah, what I want to know is like what's I think I should ask this to every modeler. Like what's your biggest fear with model building? Like what's your fear? Is like is it clear coating? Is it painting, airbrushing? Is it like messing up like in at the end or in the beginning or in the mid part? You know, like what is like that fear that the way you'll know you the fear is that you're working on it and then at some point you know, okay, I can't do this. Let me let my friend help me. Let me give this to a friend or somebody I know to clear coat the car for me. Or I can't scratch build that, you know. And I don't want to mess it up, so let me have my let me give this to my buddy. He'll scratch build the interior for me, or he'll lay down the patterns for me, or he'll paint it for me. You know, like what's that one thing that you could tell yourself like, dang, like this is just that one hold up for me. You know, there's a couple friends I know that they tell me for them it's clear coating. That's something that they haven't jumped into, and they usually get friends to do it for them. You know, when they can, when they're working on that project, and the fear is because they spent so much time and work working on the build that they're afraid that when they clear it, since it's gonna be like their first time clearing it by themselves or whatever, that they're gonna mess it up, that it's not gonna come out the way they want it to come out, and they're gonna be like, dude, I gotta start over, or what's going on, you know? Okay, I see something on here. Wait, I could feel it right here. No, it's smooth, smooth. Feel no, I can't feel it, but I could see it. All right, so right here. Damn, this was a hidden one. Sneaky, this little sneaky one. But yeah, like what's your guys' like kind of like a fear, I guess. I don't know if that's even the right word then to say it, but let me see. Let me go up here. Let me read your guys' response. Um all right, Ryan Garcia, what's up, man? He says cutting out doors, hood, etc. All right. Dang. And like that fear, were you able to take care of that now? Like are you doing that now, or is it still kind of there, like where you're kind of like, dang, like I need to cut this door open, but I'd rather have, like one of my homies that knows what's like, I have confidence that he'll do it, because he's been doing it for a minute, and then I could continue, you know from there. Yeah, let me know if you were able to, you know get into that. See, Kevin's model says, clear coating scares me to death. I've had it craze and crinkle up, ruining a great paint job. Dang. All right. When you were clearing, was this airbrush or rattle can application? Because I know, for the most part, you guys have seen me, or I post a lot of videos of like airbrushing, whether it's splash or house of color. Like, with those two, I'm like very confident. Like, all right, cool. You know, the one that I rarely ever show is rattle cans, and that's what I want to do. Like, I do have the paint now. Like, I did get a bunch. Like, Tamiya primer is my hands down my all time favorite. So that for sure is a solid foundation. I've used their paints too. Their paints are awesome, but it's been so long since I've rattle can the full body or whatever, and then have to clear coat it with the same clear that they offer, you know, and go through that whole process. So that's something that I do want to do as well and document it to share with you guys how many coats, how many times that I wait during flash time for that first coat to cure and kind of go from there, you know. Um, that way, hopefully, that can help. So that way, when you try it out again, it kind of, you don't run into those kind of situations. But also look into other tips like making sure the area is not contaminated, it's been washed, maybe a tack cloth at the end, a wipe down. Let me see here. Get a little more here on the top. All right, cool. Let me wipe it. And then Tim says that didn't start. Oh yeah, that didn't start airbrushing until now. All right on. So you're doing the airbrushing now. That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's never too late, man. Never too late to jump back on that and start, something different. And then global warming. 7221 says, I'd say putting the body and chassis together, especially when the kits aren't great and don't line up. Oh, dude, I know what you mean. I've had that happen in the past. Everything fits good. We got it painted up and everything. And then it's like, all right, let's put it all together. And then it's like start running into problems. The glass is popping out. It's not closing right. Or like you're closing it, but you feel like you're crunching everything in there. Like I've had that happen. When that happens, I used to like panic and be like, "Oh no, how is this happening?" Right? I wasn't considering there was Klear on it, and there was now everything was in there because I was test fitting everything without the glass or without a dash, and everything was in there. So I'd be like, "Dang!" So what happened was I started to have to cut certain things inside to really like seal it up, you know. My friend Dennis Matthews, he had this 60 Impala, which man, he always had a battle with all the time. And he was always like, man, I don't know what's going on. Every time I worked on this car, I test fit, everything fits. But then when it comes finally to the final assembly, now it don't fit. And that was a trip that he was running into those kind of problems right there with that. See, I'm almost done with the roof. That doesn't take me longer. All right, we got rid of that little dude. Right here. There's a pesky little thing right here. Okay. I think this should be good right here. I don't think we gotta get any more crazy right there. I'm not saying I should stop and I keep going. All right. Yeah, that's it. No more. Now we just gotta go back up on the grits. Bring it back up. All right. Let's see. But yeah, that is a scary one right there, though. Putting it together, dang. Yeah, pinstriping would be nice to do. Rattle can. All right on. Yeah, man. I'd say practice like if you have an extra throwaway model or whatever, just get the body and I just prep the body and like scuff it, primer it, and then sand it like a 600 grit, and then paint it again. Rattle can that and let that dry, let it cure, and then later come back and clear it and do like a like really soft mist coat. Let it chill for 10 minutes and then come back and spray more, a little bit more, and then let that one chill for 15-20 minutes, and then hit it with the final one kind of wet. If that's what the look you're going for, like that wet look, you could do that. Like just try it out and see what happens. See if and just make sure before you clear it, like wash the body and everything. Before you primer it, wash it every little step, wash it except for once you lay down that paint, you just use a tack cloth or cover the model, make sure nothing hits it, you know. And then when you clear it, make sure your hands are, wash your hands and everything. Nothing lands on it. Trying to visually see if I see anything else that's like that's bothering me. Right here. Let's see. Yeah, it's like so tiny. It's like, why can't I get in there? It almost feels like it's like a little cavity. And we got the other one. Got one more. There you go. Side to side, up and down, side to side, up and down. This is like the main piece everyone's gonna look at is the roof when they come over to look at the model. If I take it to a show, that's if. Because if not, it's just gonna be here in the closet modeler. Nah, bam. All right, let me go back. Ryan Garcia, a while back, I tried to cut out some headlight lids and flip lights on a S13 and botched it. Tried it since. For when you're cutting your stuff out, what are you using? Are you using like string, or are you using like a scriber? Like either like one of these kind of scribers to get in there. Yeah, normally when I have to open doors, I've done it with the string where you're going back and forth with the friction. It'll cut the door. It'll cut the plastic. But I've also done it just by scribing, using a scriber. And I just keep going back and forth, scoring it. I don't use a knife, the hobby knife, nah. It's too big. Let's see. Kevin says a pit is better than a burn through. No, yeah, dude. I remember. See, like, yeah, right now you can't really see it, but yeah, I remember one time, like burning through on a. I was working on a '62 Impala, and I remember I rattle canned it. I did a white roof, And then I think I used one of the titanium colors or something all around, or like a almost like a bronze. And I just thought it looked cool. I was like, oh heck yeah! And then I was like, oh, let me for some reason I needed to sand the roof or whatever, and then I did that, and dude, I ended up just messing it up, you know. I just burned right through it. And every time I looked at the model, everything looked cool but that one area. And I didn't know about touching up, nothing, you know? So I was just like, dang. So right now what I'm doing, I'm just basically getting rid of the 4,000 scratches. I'm going back up to the 6,000. And we're just going to be going back and forth, like this. And then you go this way, back and forth. And doing this, I'm not going to burn right through it. It's not, because this grit's lighter than the other one. And all I'm doing is I'm just removing the scratches that other one left behind. And then later, I'm going to have to use another grit to get even rid of these scratches from the 6,000. And I'm going to have to do the same to the whole body. But we're just going to do this like this for now. So I'm going in both directions. I'm going kind of fast. Okay, so this was what, 6? Now let's jump to the 8. Let's go up to the 8. As you keep going higher and higher, it starts to get like squeaky, and you're not gonna burn right through it. It's pretty chill. All right, let's go 10,000. This way, that way. All right, cool. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do just this roof part, and I'll do the other grits later. Like, okay, let's see. Spray this. Hold on. Look at how the water, how it's getting more and more white. It's not even the soap. It's more of the. There's still a little bit of soap, but it's more the clear, the residue of the clear. That's right there. Bugs, what's up, bro? See, Kevin's model says perfection is the enemy of good enough, right? That's so true. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to do the perfect, but yeah, I remember being like, all right, let me do them, and then you start to mess up, you know. I used to move things and be like, all right, I should just leave it alone. Nah, let me keep tampering with it and then mess it up. It gets worse. It's like, I should have just left it the way it was. All right, let this thing get some air. Air dry it. All right. Yeah, the roof is looking way better than how it was, like, originally. It has the shine in it, but it's gonna get more as we polish it later. I'll probably do that live as well, the polishing part. Because the videos I'm posting, I'm trying to just kind of keep them within 10 minutes. I'm not trying to go more than that. So obviously this process would have not been done in 10 minutes. You know, it took time to get it here. Another tip is, like, let's say for example, like, I'm done, right? And I'm gonna leave it overnight or whatever. I like to use like, let's say the box of the model, I like to just leave it like that. Just, you know, anything in the air falls on it, little particles, whatever. But then again, like, I don't know if like a tool for my bench or just something, depending where it's at, right? Landed on it. Not that it's gonna fully protect it, but you never know. Something might fall and it might just like land like that. All right, cool. It protected it, as opposed to it landing like on the model. Then this is broken or that's broken, you know. But that's just like a little tip, because behind me I have like other projects, and I'm just like, all right, I don't want stuff landing on them right now. Yeah. So I'll do that on another video, Tim. I'm gonna use Maguire's compound polishes and all that good stuff. It's like a 3-stage: the Scratch X, the compound, and then a polish at the end. It's like another liquid, and then I'm using that with the Dremel, with the turning wheel, and I'm just going over the whole thing, and then that just brings back, because like right now it's all dull now from when we started. This is where we're at, and then on this side, and then on this side probably needs still a little bit more work, like on these little corners right here. I need to smash those. Right there, we got the top right here too, pretty dulled up, a lot better than what it was. And then, oh yeah, I forgot, I still got to do the hood. Here's the hood right here. I have it separate, but yeah, like the hood, you know, super shiny right now, but it needs to be looking more like this. It's too shiny because there is debris right here. You could see it. You could kind of feel it. Oh yeah. So watch. So like right now, let me see how close I could get so you guys could see it. Right there. See on the Klear, there's all kinds of dirt right there. Those little dots. That's debris. That's like just stuff that lands. But it's nothing to freak out about. Like I used to be like, oh, there's a little piece of lint. Dang, I messed up. Time to start over. What am I, dude? I would be pissed, right? Back then, not no more. Now I'm like, all right. Let's see. So this one. Let's see. All right, let's just jump into the 4 on it. Watch that little dot right there. I'm just gonna do a little corner. Okay, I think we already got it. Check it out. Let's see if we got it or not. Look at the hood. You see that? Like we got rid of those little dots. You could kind of see something, but it's not rough anymore. Obviously, it's like there's a scuff, right? Like we just scuffed the Klear from using this, and that's okay because I put enough Klear. Here, we're gonna do this whole section here. Then we're gonna close it up like a box. Section. Okay. It feels a little bit on the edge, just a little bit. Okay. Now just jump into the 6. No, that's the 8. This is the 6. Let's see. We want to get this nice and flat. There we go. Where's the 8? 8,000. We're going back up on the grits, getting rid of the scratches and doling this thing out down to the 10,000. Square it up. All right, let's spray it. Let's see where we're at. All later on, bro. Have a good night, man. Peace. Hopefully we'll see you soon, man. Let me see. Let me see. All right. So now we have it flat. Look at that. Oh, wait. Do I see something now? Right here? Right here, this little corner, right? Oh, I see something right there. Watch. A little dot right there. Man, that one tried to sneak in. So we got rid of this. This is like super smooth now. It's just this little pesky little thing right here. It's a tiny little thing. So let's drop it down to the floor on that little side. Let me get this hood. It feels weird. Okay. So 4 to 6. Here's the 8. All right, where's the 10,000? There we go, better. There we go. Spray it again. Let's see where we're at with this thing. Yeah, it looks a lot better than what it was. But tomorrow I might go over it one more time. But it does look a lot better. Like it's more flat. Before, like in the beginning, you know, and if you watch that, like let's say after the video's done, the video's gonna save. But if you want to rewatch it, just go back a little bit. And there's always gonna be little debris. We just go back in there, you flatten it, right? And then you just, do it up. But I think tomorrow, I'll come back to it, fresh set of eyes and everything, and then just be like, all right, let me go ahead and inspect, and also a feel, I'll wash it one more time, feel it. Let's see here. Let's see what it feels like. All right, so that's how the hood is gonna be. But yeah, I feel like I need to sand it more because it's definitely still, it's too shiny. It needs to be dulled up more, especially when I'm gonna like polish it and all that. So we're definitely gonna hit it right there. Hey, what's up, Carlos? How you doing, man? Thank you for joining us right here. So let's see. Yeah, let's not be afraid. But let's see. So yeah, once I wrap up this model, I'm gonna be doing the Pi Wagon model. I've already got started on that, but I'll show you guys how it's going with that one, where I'm at. Okay, let's repeat the process. Oh yeah, it looks even more better. But now I feel maybe right here, a little bit right here. But like Kevin said, let's not try to get too crazy, like perfect. It's just that's it. That's it, right? Let me take this thing off. All right, let me bring out the Pi Wagon real quick. Here, let me just move this off to the side right here. Make sure nothing's wet. All right, set this box down. All right, so this one is gonna be another one I'm working on. I'm already been started on it. This is the box artwork right here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this kit. The Tom Daniel. We got the Pi Wagon right here. So started cutting out the parts already, straight right out of the box. So this piece, which is the body of the model, it's two pieces. You get this bottom portion and then you get the top portion. And I was like, all right, so when I do this, am I gonna just work on them separately and then glue them together? Or because if I do that, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have this like line where you could tell that's where it connects, right? Or am I gonna just kind of complicate it, glue it now already, right? And sand it, build it up, mold it, put glue, primer it. I've already done this like 4 times already outside. I keep sanding, put glue, sanding, primer, this whole repeat step. So I already scribed the doors, as you could see right there. This door has been scribed from the top, going all the way down. And then I did this side too, top, and then down right there. So the doors are ready. Tomorrow, I already backmasked it because the inside's white, and I'm going to do white outside, but I wanted to do the inside white just to help me because I already glued everything together as far as the body. So tomorrow when the sun's out, I'm going to set this down, get my primer, and I'm just going to primer the whole thing. Like everything uniformed. Once everything's primered, I'm just going to go back and hit it with like 600 grit and just inspection the whole thing, wash it, inspection it. If I see that it's like we're good, that's it, we're done, then we're gonna go ahead and spray it all white, the base coat. We're gonna do an all white base coat with that, and then also we're gonna have to do the parts as well. So we have the seats here. We got the engine. It's a cool thing about the engine, man. It like just sits right in there like that. Like that. That's pretty cool. Obviously there's another part that goes on there. But we're putting that later. And then these right here. I think, is this the one for this side? Yeah, right there. This is going to connect to the engine right here. And these things are just going to stick out right there. So that's going to be dope. So we're going to have one on each side. Then this piece, this is another piece. It's separate. I'm not going to glue it down. But this piece is going to attach. Should attach right here. Hold on. Just do it on there. There we go. So the thing with this piece right now is like when I put it, it sets in like right here. And right here, not really, right? Oh, so sorry. Like right here, it still kind of pops up. So what I'm going to have to do is just sand really, really slow and light, like in the front. And just a little bit on the edges. As long as, like, let's say I fit it in, like, right here. Push it down, right? I get it in the little areas. If I can get it in the front, whatever. Then what I'll do is once it's in, I'll sand it really, really lightly. So it's nice and uniformed all together right there. I am going to clear coat everything, and I also want to make sure it fits. So even if I sand a little more, that's fine. If there's a little bit of a gap, because once it's clear coated, there's gonna be a little bit of millage, and I want to be able to set that in there. And it's just gonna have a mean stance, like standing up. I've never done one of these show rods. I'm excited. This should be cool. Right here, a little throwback to back in the day. Man, these wheels. I think they're like that. Big old wheels. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm gonna be spraying candies, pearls, and some other like effects on there that I'm really excited to use with this one. In my mind, I'm already picturing how I'm gonna do it. I notice, like, even on the, like right here, just like this, I'm gonna most likely use this, the Mother's Pies decal. It's this one right here, right there. So I'm gonna see what I could do to kind of dress it up right here. So this way, when the decal goes on top, it goes on cool. But yeah, though the body feels smooth and everything. I just gotta touch it up because it was originally red, or like a pinkish reddish kind of color on the styrene. So I'm gonna be working on this tomorrow in the day. I just gotta primer it, leave it alone, and I probably won't come back to it until maybe the nighttime or maybe during the week, because I need to base coat it all white. I need to fire that thing up. But yeah, I think that's it. But I'm gonna take off, guys. I gotta go. We've been on here. It's already been 2 hours. I think we did good progress already so far with this. So we'll come back to it later. We'll do another follow up, most likely tomorrow. I'll be back here just to make sure everything's cool and go from there. So once we do the wet sanding, this whole process, what you guys just saw, once we wrap this up, then probably the next time I go live again, we'll be polishing it with the Maguires. I'll be rocking that right there. Once that's done, then I'm not going to do it live. I'm just going to do it behind the scenes, like working on my bench alone. I'm going to add the mirror finish for the chrome trim. This is what's going to be going along the whole model right here. All the pillars, all this stuff's going to be chrome, and then around this is going to be chrome, and then it's going to shoot straight chrome, and then here above chrome. We're going to leave the midsection white right there. It's matching with the roof because it has the pearl effect in there. So we're going to leave that alone. And once we finish that, then the next step is going to be installing the glass. We'll install the glass. Once the glass is glued and we're good to go, then we're going to start to glue in the inserts in here and in here on both sides, and then the rear tailgate insert as well. And then finally, we'll start to test fit it. We'll start to bring in the bottom, put it all together. And then also it's going to have an engine as well. I'm using the stock hinge, so I got to attach that as well. Have that glued in here. And that way, I don't expect it to really be like fully functioning, but as long as we can open it, maybe I'll put a little real rod or something. Will be good right there. And but yeah, we'll be good with this one. But hey guys, I'm gonna let you guys go right now. I'm gonna take off. Hopefully we'll be back here soon, so we could continue on with this build, and it should be done soon. I mean, I think a lot of the hard part was already done with prepping the body, like the back part of it. And yeah, we're just at this point, we're just finishing in these last steps, and then that's it. It's done. We got to move on to the other builds right there. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, tuning in. I hope you guys learned something, or just got an idea of kind of the way I kind of go about working on my models right here. But yeah, you guys, if you guys want to reach out, you know, I'm on Instagram at Scale Riders, and my the model one is at 65 lokes underscore. That's the other one. Um, and then in case if you guys are looking for these sanding pads, we do have them on our website, scaleriders.com. Just look up God Hand and then sanding sponges. As long as they're the white ones, those are the polishing ones. Because I have other colored ones too, and these are more for sanding. This is what I use to prep my model. 240, 400, 600, and then primer. This is what I use for polishing. And that water looks all trippy. Yeah, so I'll wash this stuff later. You know, we'll wash all that and all that good stuff. So let me get my box, put it in here. So, all right, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bam. All right, guys. Peace. Have a good night.